Thanks for coming here. By the way, I guess happy 4th of July.
Yeah,
thank you.
Happy to be in Canada for that.
I'm happy you're in Canada for that. Eric, just before we get going, that's a really powerful song. What do you feel after you sing a song like that?
Just a greater sense of unity, really. I mean, I wrote that song on an uncle's rooftop in New Mexico, and kind of wrote it to the sun setting. And, if you guys have been to New Mexico, you kind of, you get the really, really beautiful skies and mountains. That place is very inspiring as far as nature goes. So, Colors was inspired by nature and just being with family and being of that unit. So, it kind of brings me back down.
I'm happy we got a shout out in that version of it. If you keep on doing that, you should continue to shout out CBC's Q,
Hey, man.
No matter where you are.
Hey.
You're in Stockholm?
You guys, we got cupcakes and tea. You keep bringing us free food. I'll keep throwing your name in there.
It's called bribery. Adrian, how did you guys meet?
We met through a mutual acquaintance. Eric had just moved to Austin, I believe, a year and a half or two before.
In Austin, Texas?
Yeah, in Austin, Texas. And I was recording some music, and I'm a producer and guitarist, not a vocalist, and just looking for somebody to collaborate with on the project, and was asking around, put a call in literally all over the world. Just friends, producer friends everywhere. And anytime I heard anybody, I was just like, no, that's not it, And then this mutual friend of ours just said, hey, have you met this guy, Eric Burton? So we got together, worked on a few tunes, and just kept collaborating, and it turned into Black Pumas.
I should say that you're being humble, which is a beautiful Canadian thing to be. But I know your records, man. You're a great record producer.
Hey, thank you, man.
I had the Latin Roots of Texas Soul record. Really amazing stuff.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thanks.
You get Grammys and stuff like that too, right?
I have a couple nominations, and a Grammy.
Yeah, so you're doing all right.
Yeah, stay busy.
And if I'm not mistaken, Eric, you were busking, right?
I was busking before collaborating with Adrian, and right before, just as we were getting together, I was actually building a studio out of my own home because I wasn't necessarily finding, the right collaborators, even though, Austin, Texas is the live music capital of the world, and we kind of have the pick of the litter as far as who you would want to be in a studio with. Fortunately for myself, I got, the call to, collaborate with such a great producer, artist, feel very, very lucky.
But I talked to a lot of folks on this. It's a surprising amount, maybe not a lot, but a surprising amount of folks on this show who were once buskers, and then they feel like, and then end up becoming performers on big stages kind of all around the world like you're becoming. Sure. And they feel like they kind of took something with them from that time. Do you feel that way too? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I come from a performing art family. My family's very theatrically inclined, and I'd had a couple of experiences on bigger stages where I had auditioned for American Idol, made it to Hollywood Week, and just had like little experiences like that kind of sparked some more interest in like pursuing this thing. So
you auditioned for American Idol?
Yeah, for a little bit. I auditioned in Texas, actually, from California. Kind of went to Houston with like $15 in my pocket and met up with some fellow summer campers, if I may. And it was a really interesting and cool experience just to be a part of that. The camaraderie of all the people, same-hearted, musicians and artists.
Do you mind if I ask? You cannot answer if you want. What was the song you auditioned with?
I auditioned, you would not guess, but I got in with Charlie Chaplin's Smile.
Smile, the heart is breaking. Yeah.
There you go. That's the one.
All right. So you mentioned there's no shortage of collaborators in Austin, Texas. I think even in Toronto we know it as, one of the great musical cities in the world. Uh-huh. So what was it that drew you to Adrian?
My friend that introduced us, he let me know that Adrian was interested in getting together, and I think initially, because I had been getting requests to collaborate with different people, and to be honest, I was kind of over it at that point when Adrian had reached out through Brian Ray is his name. I was kind of over it. I was kind of trying to build my own studio to make my own sounds because I just wasn't getting it. Yeah. But when I looked up just Adrian's track record, it shows on paper that, Adrian is a respectable artist, and, I would, be kind of a madman to not jump on the opportunity to collaborate with such a great artist. So just his artistry drew me to him.
I'm glad about that. Adrian, same question to you. What drew you to Eric?
I don't know. He just had that. it factor. I didn't know what I was looking for, but every time I was like checking people out to work with, I was like, I know that's not it, you know. And then I think honestly, one of the first things that I saw when they mentioned Eric's name, I was also Eric, it took him 2 weeks to get back to me because he didn't know who I was, and I didn't know who he was. So, but when I looked him up, I looked on YouTube. Well, first of all, because I have been in Austin for over 20 years, and I'm a producer, so I've met, you know, I meet a lot of musicians, and I was just like, how do I not know about this guy? So I like looked him up on YouTube and saw some videos, and honestly, it was what you just saw, him playing with an acoustic guitar more than anything. I was just like, oh, okay, so that's he's not trying to be anything he's not. He can play on an acoustic guitar and just be have something come from his heart and be sincere. And that was the first thing that I noticed that I thought, this is interesting for sure. If I would have found a video of him fronting a retro soul band, you know, I wouldn't have been as compelled as the way I could see him playing guitar and singing like this. So,
Right, yeah. It's incredibly present. You guys are going to come back in a little while for another song, right?
Yes, sir, if you allow us.
You got it, buddy. Maybe about 12 minutes from now. Yeah, we'll see you in about 12 minutes from now. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.